Action's coming. I know what's coming. Oh shit, you know what's coming now. And I already fucked up the intro, so...
Hello and welcome to Wasted Opinions. Welcome to the end of the year, 2018. We had a great year. We're talking about movies today. The movies that we had predicted, or not predicted, but maybe wanted to see the most.
Yeah, anticipating.
Anticipated movies, yeah, of 2018. We said this back in the early of the year,
2019?
2019, I should say.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm already a year behind.
Probably recorded in
2017.
2017.
We recorded in 2018 for 2019.
Yeah, so 2019.
We're recording this in 2020 because that's 2019. Still. That makes no sense.
I was born in 86.
Wow!
Too many numbers.
What a great start to the episode.
Even an 8.
Which ate the bullet was made out of spare ribs.
Anywho, we're gonna review some of the movies that we saw in 2019 that we wanted to see this year. Maybe some of them were our most anticipated. Some of them were surprises that we didn't see coming.
Yeah.
But
how did they pan out?
To get started, let's introduce ourselves. Go to the far right here, myself.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Gregory's.
MussKeg.
I'm LewisLightning, and I fought in your general direction.
You can
Fought
just call
in
me
their general
fart.
Fart.
I
was supposed to fought, like fought.
No, he was.
Oh, okay.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father.
Okay.
I knew what it was
there.
from.
Okay, you queefed it.
Yeah.
I'm just the country boy.
Captain of the Queef, CountryBoy.
Not quite.
Queef
but
Captain Major.
and to get started, we'll do a shot here. Everybody has a shot.
Jaeger.
Jaeger.
I'm not gonna do this one. Nope. Not gonna do
You're
it.
not gonna do this. You just quit now.
I'm still getting that licorice. Yeah.
Licorice. You know what? No, you're right. There's a bit of that black licorice.
I never used to get it until like more recently.
Ew.
So what we did last year is everybody said their top 5 anticipated games of or movies, I should say, movies of 2019. I'm saying last year. 2019. What movies they wanted to see. We started one end, we went to the other, and I'm going to start on the far end. That's where we started last time. So, Mr. MussKeg.
MussKeg.
Number 5.
Number 5.
The movie you said was Dumbo.
Dumbo. Yeah.
Dumbo.
Never saw it.
Never saw it.
So, okay, not to make too many excuses, but when it comes to movies, I wish I could get out to them as much as I'd like to.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, is it on Netflix already?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's all.
Yeah, you got no excuse.
Walmart's everywhere
I didn't.
too.
Well, hey, I caught up on one of them just last night. I didn't know it was on Netflix yet.
Or
Otherwise
it
I
might be on
would've watched
Disney
it.
Plus. It's on one of them.
I don't
It's
have
on
Disney Plus. Anyways,
yeah, it's
you know,
there,
it
man.
was a year.
You
of,
can watch it.
Okay,
on
well,
VHS.
it was a year of 3 VHS. It was a year of 3 Disney movies. We talked about it: Lion King,
Yeah.
Dumbo, Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Didn't
We'll
see
get to
any of
those
them.
as well.
Didn't see any of them. But from what I heard, and you've seen
I've seen it. My least favorite of the remakes this year. Actually, yeah, I didn't even buy it. I won't even buy it. I wasn't a big
You
fan.
didn't like Dumbo from the start. And like I said, when I made this pick, going off the trailers, it was Tim Burton first off. Tim Burton plus circus. Plus maybe a story that was a bit older, so not as well known.
Yeah.
I really had... It was Tim Burton plus circus. Just seemed like it could be really...
My big negative against it, which is why I was worried about back in the early thing, was it was about the humans and not about the animals. The animals didn't talk in this movie, and it was totally about the humans.
Did they have the racist crows?
It did not.
Well,
it had that song.
There's racist
slightly.
stuff in it.
That song was in there slightly, but it was it was cleverly done. But no, it didn't have the emotion that the first one did, and it didn't have. You wanted the animals to talk, and you wanted to see their viewpoint. Because I didn't give a shit about this guy that came from war who lost his arm, or his kids, or the guy that was running the circus. I didn't give a shit about them. And even though they're excellent actors, didn't care.
Oh, okay.
So it was low rating for me.
Maybe that was part of the thing for me. Was it was also seemed like it had the potential to be the least shot-for-shot remake.
Yeah.
And maybe that, because that's
definitely was. It
one of my
was.
big issues going into the year with Lion King was that it was going to be a shot-for-shot remake of a movie. So
For sure.
anyways,
And well, I'll say number 4.
number 4.
You remember what it was?
Give me 2 seconds here. Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it was Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. I watched it. Actually, saw it twice because I saw it in theaters once on my own, and then I saw it with my wife because she wanted to get caught up before Avengers Endgame. I gotta say this about it. I thought back on this movie. I liked it. I did like it. I love the soundtrack, the 90s music used in the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I came out of it initially a bit annoyed by Captain Marvel as a character. And then I realized that they wrote her that way. It wasn't that they tried to... They wrote her as this cool...
thick-headed, yeah.
Thick-headed, not really much depth to her.
Really, yeah.
But
the whole movie, she was like that, basically.
Yeah, the whole movie.
She wasn't going to change the way she...
Exactly.
Yeah,
It was nice to see Samuel L. Jackson. I loved some of the comedy, especially with the what was the name of the alien race?
I don't know what you're
not
talking about.
the
Skrull?
Skrull, yeah.
Yeah.
Oren Krennic is the guy who played Oren Krennic in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who.
Talos? You're talking about?
Talos,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, Talos.
Some great comedy there, especially with the cat and everything. So I mean, it's not like in the top for me, but having watched it a couple times, I disliked it less than the first time I saw it in the theaters.
Okay.
So it improved for me. And I do like Brie Larson. I think she's gorgeous.
I think she's cute. I like
cute. That's what I mean. Cute.
She's cute.
Yeah. So yeah.
No, I enjoyed it.
I think it was on your guys' list too.
Yeah, it's on his, not mine. Yeah,
so that's one of the
enjoyed
things these challenging these is to talk, not to talk to death.
That's
too much,
fine.
But yeah.
it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was,
Fine would be the best word
Yeah.
for it.
it did it.
I did.
justice.
The best part about the whole show was the '90s theme to it.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of
That's
nostalgia for me.
Number 3 movie.
Did I not have? It hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Star Wars.
As of this recording, we have not seen Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
We didn't even know it was called The Rise of Skywalker.
No, it was called Star Wars Episode 9, as far as we know.
I'm still very much looking forward.
I'm
to
actually
it.
looking forward to it more so
Yeah.
than Episode 8.
I would. Yeah.
Because I love J.J. Abrams, and he did such an awesome job at Episode 7.
And the trailers have been fantastic.
And
for it.
I want to see how it all comes to the end, right? It's supposed to be the Skywalker saga, so hopefully it lives up to that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah,
Still
absolutely.
very excited. And
Absolutely.
I was trying to get too cute with my rankings last year. It probably would have been, it probably would have been number 2 or 1.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
we'll see. Number 2 was Avengers Endgame,
Avengers
which
Endgame, yeah.
wasn't even called Endgame by the time I recorded last year.
No,
It was actually called Avengers 4, Infinity 2 or whatever the fuck we called it.
Infinity Wars Part 2.
Yeah.
Oh man, great. I've watched them both multiple times. I still go back and say I liked Infinity Wars a little bit more than Endgame. No, well not a little bit, but I liked Infinity Wars more than
Stop saying Wars.
Sorry,
War.
I know.
Infinity
The
War.
first time I thought he slipped up, but
No,
twice.
it's one war.
Infinity War. Apologies. But definitely a second time through. And a good movie. I mean, I'm sure we'll do some reviews on it and such. A little sad. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it.
What?
Spoiler.
What's that about it?
The deaths.
the
Plural.
the main death at the end.
Unless you went
was-
Thanos' side.
Was that sad?
I
I
did-
thought you meant Black Widow. That was a sad one.
Oh, that was sad too. Yeah, but I didn't want to say bye to
I know, Iron Man.
Iron
that
Man.
was definitely heart-wrenching.
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But man, was it good, and I liked what they did. The whole time heist. Maybe it introduced more problems for people.
As a fan of time travel movies, it bugged the hell out of me with
You know what?
time travel problems. But we'll get into that. I'm sure.
I could have.
There's a few things.
With their explanation, I could have been okay, except for the last
Yeah.
time travel.
Great comedy.
Basically.
And you know what? The one thing I liked about it more than Infinity War was I loved having Ant-Man.
Yeah, it comes into it.
He was so funny.
Pretty
in it.
central.
Was that Ant-Man in this one?
Yeah, Ant-Man was in this
Endgame?
one.
He
Did
was-
you not see him running?
Did you not
Yeah,
watch
no.
the movie?
I'm just saying, because he's saying
I know,
Ant-Man in the
I
last
know.
video we did.
Oh,
Last
yeah.
video? If you don't know when that
Time.
video is.
Or maybe it's before this, or after this, whatever.
That's America's ass. I like that ass. That's America's ass. Is Taco getting blown away by the jets?
They wouldn't have thought about time travel if it wasn't for Ant-Man.
Gotta say, even though it disappointed me how little Hulk was kind of involved in the combat, it was unique seeing Professor Hulk, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, unique's good work.
I could do this all day. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I laughed at that. And then he's like, that is America's ass. Number one was
what I loved in that one was when he's in the elevator And you think he's gonna do the whole fight scene again?
It's just a Hail Hydra. You guys
I was like, oh shit, that's awesome.
So clever.
If you weren't a fan of all of the other movies, you wouldn't get all the references in this one.
Yeah, you'd be lost, definitely.
Totally. That's what this movie did. Is it totally calls back.
And so number one was Glass.
Glass. Was your
Watched
number
it
one.
last night.
The first time was last night?
Oh, I thought you'd seen it before for some reason.
I know. Watch it last
At
night.
least you've seen it. At least you've seen it.
And you know, the plot twist in this one at the end was just way too forced. And you know, the reality of it was you were expecting it, because the beauty about Split and Unbreakable was the plot twist. Even though it was an Shamalama Ding Dong movie,
Yeah.
you weren't expecting them for some reason.
Well, the first one, absolutely. You had no idea what the twist was going to be.
No,
yeah.
like,
because that was like the second movie he did, right? Didn't Sixth Sense?
It was.
and
It
then
was
that-
this. Well,
so
I mean,
you didn't know he was
that
always
people
gonna
know
be-
about.
Yeah.
He's got had other movies,
Yeah.
but they're not
But even-
canon. They're not big name
even
movies.
in Unbreakable, like throughout the whole movie, you're still not sure if he's actually a superhero. He's kind of discovering for himself.
Exactly. You see him like lifting the weights, and like maybe he's just really strong.
Strong, yeah.
He hasn't been sick his whole
But
life.
then
Who knows?
the real twist at the end gets you.
Yeah.
So
And then you're like, and Split. I don't know if you've seen Split.
No, I don't.
maybe I was just
You wouldn't have even known that they were connected until the last
Yeah.
like 30 seconds of the movie.
So I guess the best way to put it is, maybe the biggest issue was Unbreakable and Split. I went into not expecting a twist,
That's the thing.
and this one, in every single line they say, like,
Yeah,
he went through the basement, what a fool, or
yeah.
I was expecting. a
You're
twist.
analyzing everything in the movie because you know that it's part of these two movies.
Yeah.
So you're overthinking
it almost
it.
felt rushed too. I don't know what it is.
It was like 2 years since Split. So,
Yeah.
Whereas Unbreakable to Split was like over 10, I think. Over 15.
Oh, yeah.
Over 15.
But
Yeah.
but the whole movie itself felt like
15 years.
I guess what happened was I'm watching the movie and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, they're fighting right now. This is.
No, I mean it had some pretty sweet, awesome moments, but it didn't live up to the other two movies. No. That's the thing.
So
that's what it was.
Again, I don't know. I was trying to be cute having it as my number one because
Because nobody else.
nobody saw that coming.
I'm being a hipster right now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to Mr. LewisLightning's number 5. Do you remember what that was?
No, I could take a guess. I'm
Trying to be cute as well. Avengers Endgame was his number 5. Are you freaking kidding me? 5?
5? I thought it was
Five?
Mutants was.
It was 5.
No, Mutants didn't make that year.
No, that was the year before.
Wow.
Number
I'm
5.
trying to think why it would be so low, but
I don't know, man. Trying to be cute. Like Craig said.
I think maybe because I felt it was going to be like just the rebuilding and that
A
like
big letdown, maybe, or
yeah, because Infinity War was pretty damn good at that
Even
point.
though you would like it more than Infinity War.
Oh, I do,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So it's got more moments I like in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like definitely I like Endgame more than Infinity War.
Yeah.
Killer moments throughout. Like some of the best. I think we're talking about epic moments in the previous video. I think this has more epic moments than Infinity War.
yeah.
Not that one doesn't. either.
I could agree with that sort of, but I just like the story in Infinity War a bit more. So, anyways,
But
I agree.
yeah, definitely agree. It's probably my number 1 for this year overall.
Okay. Number 4, do you remember what that was?
I want to say Godzilla. King
It
of
was
Monsters.
Godzilla King of the Monsters. You got
Yeah. Went and saw it. It was probably. It's pretty close to being as good as the 2014 one, which
You
is
know
the
what?
sequel to.
I would put it
But
above
better.
that one.
It's slightly
Yeah.
better. It's close, but slightly better.
They didn't cut away immediately as soon as the action started, but there still wasn't enough
Obscure
of
the
it.
action and stuff like one of the best things is when Rodan comes out.
Yeah.
And he's like chasing the ship, and it's like you are in the ship,
Yeah.
and he's coming there, and it's like but then they switch it around, like they
And
switch camera angles.
A lot of the people's decisions in that movie are like just stupid. They're like,
dumb.
why the hell would you decide to do that? It makes no sense. Like, in reality, a lot of this stuff wouldn't happen.
And a lot of the fights are like in snowy areas, like one of them's in the North Pole, right?
Yeah.
So
the
it's
viewpoint.
obscured.
Yeah.
and
you're probably
in
gonna
the
hear
water.
this a lot. I didn't see it. So.
No, I know that.
But you know,
But the audience doesn't.
I'm hoping because they're still planning to follow up this universe with more. So I'm hoping that they improve and after people have been
They've
saying
already
this
got
first
one
year-
announced for next year.
Yeah,
I don't want to bring that up.
I know,
until-
I know.
like you said though, it's been a slight improvement from the last one. Hopefully the next one's a big improvement over that one.
Yeah, I like Ghidorah was in it. I love that a lot.
King Ghidorah. So Spider-Man: Far From Home is your number 3.
Yeah, I think it was not quite as good as the Homecoming. Yeah,
Really?
but just again, we're just splitting hairs. This is the other side. This is the lower side.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved Mysterio.
I love
I think
Mysterio.
they nailed
But
Mysterio.
I thought
I was
it was
surprised how
perfect.
well they did him.
Yeah.
There was like, I felt like having the whole cast and crew, like almost like a movie effects studio helping the whole time, felt a little bit cheesy at times.
I know, but makes it more
Like,
realistic.
when they're sitting in a
way.
bar and they're having cheers, the second he walks
To
out,
have like one
yeah.
guy doing all this was kind of unrealistic,
But-
so you kind of got to have like a whole
The vulture, and especially that scene where he's sitting in the car, that felt real. That
Yes,
felt seriously
yes.
intimidating, and that's something I wish that Mysterio was a little bit more serious.
They also tried
It's
to
still
incorporate.
great.
They also tried, because it was the tour. They tried to incorporate the kids a little bit.
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And that-
the
I'm still
comedy
not
more.
even sure which one. Like, I would say I liked the Homecoming overall more, but I loved Mysterio. I think a bit more than the Vulture. Even though the Vulture was great.
That's the thing. But
I
I
like
love Michael Keaton so much.
I like Michael Keaton, but
It's
I think
hard
that's
to-
the thing. I think I like Michael
Taking
Keaton
Michael
so
Keaton,
much
not so much.
that it makes me say the Vulture
I
is
know.
good.
But Mysterio was done
Mysterio
like
was-
almost to perfection.
Yeah.
Like it was.
I think it's
greatly
still too
done.
comedic. That movie in general is too comedic, and like they took Ned and put him in that
yeah.
love story.
Yeah, that
That's,
was-
which they kind of to me just replaced the Ned character with the Happy character. Like
Yeah.
Happy was now this.
That was
Sidekick.
the kind of the unnecessary part
But-
for me was Ned, but yeah.
It was still good. All
right.
we'll find out. how
Oh,
they
number
rate
2. I know you want this one to be number 1 for you. Hellboy.
that. Didn't see it.
Oh!
Didn't see it.
I saw Hellboy,
You know
and
what?
it was. Let's go to the next one.
When I mentioned it, because it was not my number one. When I mentioned
That's
it,
too bad.
I had a little bit of hint that this could be absolute ass.
That's too
And
bad.
and
I
David
actually
Harbour-
really liked the trailers.
David
Short-
Harbour is such a good actor.
I liked his depiction of Hellboy. It wasn't him, but it was the script around it. The script sucked, and a lot of the CG was shoddy.
Shortly after, then that's when I got all the big hints dropping that wasn't going to be good.
Yeah, it's too bad. I think he actually did a decent job as Hellboy. He did a good job, I'll say. He did a good job as Hellboy. But the rest of the movie around him,
Yeah,
not
that's
so
what I
good.
heard.
Not so good. And then your number 1 was Captain Marvel.
Did not really care for it. It's probably one of my worst MCU films. Brie Larson is completely unlikable. You can say that they wrote the character that way, but why would you write a character that I don't want to see anymore?
Well, I
in her
think
first and only movie.
here's a good point. You know, Captain Marvel's going to be important moving forward in this phase 2.
I don't want to see her anymore.
And how concerned are you with the fact that maybe one of the main characters moving forward in this next, is it called a phase?
Next phase.
They call
Yeah,
it a phase.
phase, yeah.
How concerned
Phase
are
4.
you that she might be the linchpin kind of character? For
I'm
the
just
next
not
phase?
interested in her. I'm interested in a lot of
What?
the other characters coming up.
What I'm worried about is there's rumors about her being like a love interest for Spider-Man.
Well, because then
Phil
Aw.
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
in the comics,
I don't know why. Why would they bring him into
in the comics, she has a crush on him.
Oh.
But see,
Okay.
the comic character I like a lot more.
They are not going to have. They're not going to make.
Zendaya as fucking
They are
MJ.
not going to make this like strong-willed woman character, but they're not going to, with today's day and age, they're not going to make a strong-willed woman character who's
Well,
supposed to be the lead have a crush on.
I really
her.
don't think they'll do that with
I don't know.
Sony's thing now, because I think after the next Spider-Man movie, he might be.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
Spider-Man. Okay.
But,
Yeah, it's on the fence.
Actually,
here.
I'm kind of the opposite. I did not like the soundtrack. There was maybe 1 or 2 songs I liked, but I thought they were really ham-fisted in there. They did not fit the
I
action.
loved it.
What about Samuel L. Jackson and like more of a?
The de-aging process they did with him and
They did a
Coulson.
good job.
Well,
Yeah.
that's fine. Like I actually
Yeah.
think Samuel L. Jackson had a couple of good moments, but almost every single one of them gets overcut by Brie Larson, and it's just like I don't care. But like,
Yeah.
like when he has the tape, I'm like, oh, this is leading to something. She just like blasts the door. I'm like,
You know what?
Everything's
I'll say
cool
this
about that.
about just one thing.
Justified.
I've realized one of my annoyances with Captain Marvel Brie Larson. They wrote her character with this like sarcastic, dry wit, and if you listen to it, my wife watched the Gilmore Girls, and this like, this like talking fast and cool and quick comebacks and quick quips.
Oh,
It just does not work.
if I have to watch Gilmore Girls to think that Brie Larson is funny,
and
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Didn't think
I'm
she
never
was,
gonna-
but I didn't think she was funny. That's what I'm saying. The whole like quick quips back and forth
Yeah.
and everything.
I'll just
Yeah.
say, like, I plan to have all the movies, but I don't
Yeah.
ever plan on spending money on this one. I'm hoping I get
What do you,
a Christmas
what do you-
or birthday gift.
what do you guys think about the theory that there's some sort of a theory about Nick Fury because he can't eat toast if it's cut diagonally? That and then he eats toast or something like that later in in an episode in the show.
What?
What's the theory?
That it wasn't Nick Fury, he was replaced.
You're saying that was Talos?
Oh, that Talos was in some other.
Or that there was
it's- right now that's completely open. We don't
Yeah.
know when.
Yeah, we don't know
He
when
was
Talos
replaced.
took over as
Anyways,
Nick Fury.
all right.
All right. My phone
What are you
is just-
doing
talking to
What?
Siri apparently.
Siri.
All right. Now we'll go to my number
Do
5.
you remember your number 5 pick?
I don't know. Do I? My number 5 was John Wick Chapter 3.
I haven't seen
Parabellum.
it, so no spoilers, please.
Parabellum.
But I want to watch it.
I won't say any spoilers. I'll say that it was a perfect follow-up to 1 and 2. Honestly,
Best of the 3?
better than 2. Not better than. I think you probably can't top 1. 1 was like came out of nowhere. It was like an anomaly.
2 was fun for me, but I didn't like the character.
I loved 2 because like everybody was against him. He was like trying to like fight his way out.
Is that
Whatever.
what 3
I
is?
thought 3 is even more so. Yeah, but 3 I think was a little bit better than 2.
Yeah.
And there's some really fucking awesome epic fight scenes. So that's number 5 for me.
I really want to see it.
Number 4 was again the
Wait
movie
for it to
hasn't
be
come
free
out.
now, like on TV. It'll
Number
be-
4, the movie hasn't come out. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker hasn't come out. We will.
I'm surprised you had that so low on your list. You
Uh,
know, the massive Star Wars nerd.
I think because Episode 8 kind of slid me a
I
little
was
bit.
never one of those people that was that hard on 8. You know, it was
I know,
what it
dude.
was.
I love it,
It was
but
what
not
it was.
as much as I love 7. It brought me down a
It
little
was
bit.
so good.
I know, but that's why I think I had it a little bit lower down. Is because I put it there. Number 3, Toy Story 4.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that
That was
yet.
definitely my honorable mention.
My daughter's seen Toy Story 4.
What the fuck, you guys?
For me.
Come on, come on,
Come on!
come on, man. But you know what? I will say, probably my least favorite Toy Story.
I've heard people say it's the best of them. And I was
You know,
like,
I feel like it's
The girls probably do because it's a love story.
Toy Story
Oh.
3 was so epic in the climax
You know what?
of it that I think that
Number 3 was probably the perfect ending. This one,
Yeah.
it felt like a little bit of a stretch, I won't lie.
Mhm.
I still love the movie, don't get me wrong. Forky is a hilarious character that they added
What
in.
about Key and Peele as the two?
They're hilarious. Actually, all the new characters, I love, even Keanu Reeves'
I was
character.
gonna say Keanu Reeves. I'm trying to remember his name.
Yeah, he's the fucking Duke Kaboom, he's called.
Yeah.
He jumps the ramps. Yeah. Honestly, all those characters are great.
But did it
But
feel like
the
when he was
reason-
stretched out a bit?
The thing is, they brought in all these new characters, they kind of forgot the old characters. So Buzz barely had much to do in this movie. Like, the potato heads barely had any lines, like Rex and Ham.
Yeah.
They all had like,
maybe
they're all
they're
like
setting up
barely
for the
side characters.
transition though. Maybe this is the setup for the transition.
There's a possibility that there's a transition, yes. And it's sure it's an emotional ending to this movie too. I won't do any spoilers. It's Toy Story. You know it's gonna be kind of emotional, but it's probably my least favorite Toy Story. I'll say that. Not that it's not a good movie. It's a great movie. My second pick was Spider-Man: Far From Home, which I've expressed love for already.
You're the opposite on that. You thought it was better than.
I liked it better than Homecoming. I think they nailed Mysterio. They nailed him so well, and they showed he can win some fights. Like in the first movie, he didn't win any fights, like you said in our review.
Yeah.
Here's why if I had to pick, I still put Homecoming above. I liked Mysterio more than Vulture, but it was a lot closer than you might think because, man, Michael Keaton. The other reason is the fact that Iron Man's in it.
That's one of my negatives for the first one. There's too much Iron Man. I thought they didn't need Iron Man as much as they did in the first one. I was okay with like having him a couple of times, but they kept bringing him back.
No, this is where you zip it. All right?
Yeah.
Another issue I had with Far From Home was just the technical questions. Like, if they wouldn't have explained how he did it so much, I would have been fine with it. But then they explain how it's like holograms and drones.
It worked perfectly.
No, I didn't think so. There's a lot of stuff that happened. That
When
I was
he
like,
was in that whole sequence where that Mysterio was fucking with him, it was awesome.
But like, there was like a part where he throws a car into the lava thing. But shouldn't the car be there afterwards? They couldn't have blown it away
Who
completely.
said that was a real car?
Can you tell
Oh,
me
exactly.
Can you tell me how
Exactly.
Spider-Man felt the
Who
punch?
said there was real
Hold on,
people
hold on.
in there?
This is one of the biggest.
Oh, Mysterio!
Can you tell-
Mysterio right there.
Can you tell me how Spider-Man felt the punch of the water when?
Because they were able to actually send those effects. Like, they were able to, like,
How?
What was it though?
they had those drones that were able to, like, send shockwaves, or, like, water could, like, send a shockwave.
They said shockwaves.
You
I
gotta
thought
feel
they
wet.
shot bullets.
No, they sent bullets and stuff like that, but they
I know
also
they had
sent,
fire.
they sent, like, waves also, too, like, shockwaves
It's gotta
to
feel
push
wet.
the water to make them wet.
I didn't see shockwaves once.
They were able to do all of that stuff, you guys.
No.
Stop trying to pull
That's
it
what.
apart.
If they wouldn't have
Oh
explained
my
it so
gosh.
much, I would have been fine with it. But the fact they did.
Or if Iron Man had been in it because he didn't die.
He was still quite in it because he had the glasses from Iron Man. Anyways, my number one, because I loved Infinity War so much. Endgame. Avengers Endgame. It didn't live up to Infinity War in my...
No, but
opinion.
that's the hazard of being the closing chapter.
I know. But I just feel like there was so many things that bothered me in it. I loved the movie, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give
No,
like
no,
probably
no.
9s
Yeah, no.
when I do the
know.
review for it.
Oh,
I know.
yeah. Definitely.
But it just, because there are so many things I was like, picking apart in the movie, it bothered me.
And I'm not even making an excuse. I'm just saying that's what I expected with Endgame because
I know.
because the final chapter in an epic build-up always is
It's
trying
easy
to
set up.
tie up everything.
The setup is always easier
And
than the tie.
You also have the anticipation of, oh, we still got another
Yeah,
movie.
absolutely.
It happened to me with Star Wars.
Yeah.
It happened to me with Lord of the Rings. You know, the middle one being the one I love the most versus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
too.
same here. Absolutely.
So
Two
that
times?
was always going to happen. So,
But the thing is like,
but always the least letdown of the three, probably. Although
had I not seen every other Marvel movie, I'd probably be disappointed in this movie too, though. Like going with Lindsay, she's only seen maybe half of the movies that they reference in this movie, right?
I got a funny story for you about this one. Just a quick thing. My in-laws went and saw it. They don't follow the Marvel's movies that well, but they hadn't seen Captain Marvel, so they came out. They're like, "We wished you were there, Craig, because we had a lot of questions for you. Like, who the hell is this Gold Girl?
Gold Girl.
She comes with that golden glow when she first.
They're like, who the hell is this?
You meet her, like, which is on Earth at first, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like but she shows up to like save
Bring in-
Iron
yeah,
Man.
she's
Like,
Oh yeah, saves Iron Man,
Yeah.
and yeah.
they're like, who the hell is this Gold Girl?
Gold Girl.
And you're like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah,
god.
I know. Totally. That's one of the things. It's a great thing, but also a bad thing about the movie is that it calls back to all the
And
other movies.
another funny thing, because Cass and I, we can't go see a movie at the same time because the kid.
Yeah.
She went and saw it for the evening show,
Yeah.
and I watched Hannah, and then Cass went. I went to the late night show basically by myself and watched it because we didn't want spoilers to happen.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to spoil it for each other, so we did it in the same day in shifts. So.
Well, that's our year in preview of 2019.
Review.
That was our preview to our now
Review of a preview.
But now I have some honorable mentions that we mentioned. Also some honorable mentions. First, I'll go in the order that we did. Craig and I both mentioned Aladdin and Lion King.
Yep.
You hadn't seen either of them.
Seen either.
I've seen both of them. I liked Aladdin a little bit more than the Lion King because Lion King was a little bit too close to being a shot for shot.
Yeah.
I'd say. But they're both excellent. Better than Dumbo.
Yeah.
You also your next one was Joker.
Yeah, I mean, apparently I was sort of right, but still haven't seen it.
Good.
Yeah.
I laughed at you when you put that on your honorable mention, but you know what?
It's a lot of. It's funny. It's a movie that reading the reviews and everything has garnered a lot of popular acclaim, but the balance seems to be like critically, it's not as much as like some people when it first came out were like, Joaquin's gonna get an Oscar for it, and it doesn't sound like that's gonna be the case.
It might not happen, but he should get one because he acts his ass
off.
So
I do plan to see it. It's just
and
what
it
happened.
definitely feels like Taxi Driver. If you've ever seen,
That's what a
Taxi
lot of
Driver.
people said as well. Yeah. Have you ever seen Taxi Driver?
No.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well,
That's why I said.
I wasn't sure if you were just like saying something.
No. As soon as I saw the second trailer that came out for it, I was like, this feels like Taxi Driver. And I saw it, I was like, it definitely is a lot like
So I am pretty good at predicting, so.
No, that was actually a surprisingly good one, because that was a good movie. Now we're on to Lewis's honorable mention, Dark Phoenix, X-Men, Dark
Saw
Phoenix.
it. I don't think it's as bad as Apocalypse. It's still not great by any means, whatever. Like it's.
You don't think it's as bad as Apocalypse? I think it's worse than Apocalypse.
I thought Apocalypse was much
More like a
worse.
cock and lips.
I'd say it's worse than Apocalypse, but still not as bad as the reviews.
Like it's
You
to
don't-
me, it was about average, maybe slightly under.
Average, I'd say, yeah.
Apocalypse, I would say, is like if average is 5, Apocalypse is like a 4. It's
Apocalypse was not
awful.
good. No.
If
Except for
Apocalypse-
one sequence.
You know what? If Apocalypse didn't have, Quicksilver sequence, I probably wouldn't even thought it was that good of a movie.
Was there Quicksilver
Quicksilver.
sequence in this one? I can't remember.
Not as noticeable. It was like,
Spoiler! I haven't seen
oh,
it.
I guess.
I know I think
Jeez.
he runs up some. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, in space he does some things and he does.
Oh,
some
right,
things.
right.
Space? They go to space? Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in the trailers. Your next honorable mention was Shazam.
Oh, that was actually better than I thought.
Actually, some good things
yeah.
about
It
it.
probably is
I laughed at you when you said it. I was like, I saw this movie. I was like, shit, this is actually my favorite DC movie.
I'm still bugged by the costume looking a little bit cartoony,
I don't
but there was a
care.
lot of great comedy in it.
This is my favorite DC Universe movie, honestly. Like,
I want to say
it won me
Zachary
over.
Levi's
It won me
very
over.
underrated
Yeah.
in his comedy.
Totally. And he won me over in this movie.
I don't know where we were, but that
You know,
music was
Probably,
good.
probably the worst thing for Zachary
It's
Levi's
hard.
career, and I could be wrong.
Is it Levy or Levi?
I call him Levy, but it
I know.
could be Levi.
I don't
Oh, never
know.
mind. He didn't
He's
play
been on the
Superman,
Game
though,
Awards as
right?
well.
No, that was Brandon Bruce.
He's been in
I always
stuff.
get those.
He's been in Chuck.
That's what I would say
He's
he's most
Chuck.
famous.
He was
for.
also in Scott,
Thor 2 and 3.
Yeah, but he was also in the best Scott Pilgrim.
Sure.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
You guys haven't seen that?
We both
I never
had this as one of our honorable mentions, Men in Black International.
I didn't see it because I want to see more in the trailers, and they never really gave me anything more.
I'll say better than 2, but still, blah. It was
Yeah,
okay.
It looked blah. Like,
It was okay.
Do you think they're going to
I
make
don't-
a second one? Do you think they're going to continue?
I don't
with
know.
it? I didn't hear that
that's-
do well
wait,
enough.
Yeah.
Men in Black Sony.
And
it is.
you know,
I think they'll
what
reboot it.
I don't like
It might.
that. I don't like that they use Tessa Thompson and Chris.
No.
You know what it was?
Chris,
if it was one and then some old guy, or one and then some
Hemsworth.
old guy, it would have been fine.
No,
if it was- but the two of them together,
I
But
don't-
you had
don't-
him in Thor. But you had him in Thor.
And I
so
don't think they had
keep
good
them
chemistry
together.
there
No,
either.
and I didn't think they had good chemistry in this one either. Neither of them were. I actually didn't mind Tessa Thompson in this one so much. I didn't think Chris Hemsworth was that funny.
I'm getting a little bit tired of his comic side.
He's not funny. You had Toy Story 4 as one of your honorable mentions as well.
Cast-
New Mutants.
Still not out yet.
I bet
don't
you
know.
were going to see it on
That's
a preview.
How many years now?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to trash it or it's going to be something that
I
just
think
Scheduled
it'll-
for next year.
It'll come out
throw
next
onto
year
Disney
Plus maybe.
Plus.
It probably won't be
maybe.
on Plus because it's probably gonna be like Hulu or something. I'm guessing.
Something. Yeah.
And then
Not on my thing this
and
year.
then
I'll
I
tell you
had
that.
one other than all the other ones I said was Zombieland 2.
I have to. We might see it
No.
tomorrow night.
Zombieland 2.
Potentially.
Zombieland 2 was actually a pretty good sequel. Not as good as the first.
I don't. The first was so unique.
Some of the comedy runs on a little long. You're like, oh, okay, I get the joke. Funny, whatever.
Okay.
But the movie itself,
I potentially might be seeing that tomorrow.
I don't want
night.
to ruin anything, but there's some
Do not say anything.
There's some
now.
cool things about the zombies that they talk about that are changed, and yeah, there's some stuff in there. I was interested and I liked it, not as much as the first, but it was good. And that's our year in review for movies.
Woo!
Where can we find everybody? Starting with the guy in the middle.
I am the LewisLightning on Twitch. Check me out. Be playing some maybe Division 2, The Outer Worlds, whatever.
Yeah, well, where are you out there, sir, on the end?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, PSN as MussKeg. I'll be, live streaming. I'm making $100 an hour if you guys subscribe.
And I'm on Twitch, Twitter, and PSN. That's CountryBoy_9. I'm not making any money, but
Sucking one dick for $100 every hour.
probably.
A mighty blow, you might say.
A mighty blow. Anywho, that's our movie review of 2019. Stay tuned for our 2019 game reviews.
Get it on!
So 3 hours. Let's not go over that.
We got our shots. Oh, I got 2 cups here.
One guy, 2 cups.
Why can't I get this? Trying to get Craig's on it mostly out.
You'll get it in the next video when you leave it wide open.
It's staying wide open. I'm not doing a button.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Everybody ready?